So in this video, it's all about that how you can host this API we have built in our NFT marketplace to a remote server so you can access anytime. So right now, if we want to access our API, we are using our terminal. So we are typing npm run and dev. So in this way, we are initializing our server, and then we can easily able to retrieve the data which we have on the server. So this is not what you want in a real world. You don't want that your computer should act as a server. You want to store this entire data in somewhere in the cloud server. From there, the entire API will be running, the server will be running, and you can easily able to fetch the data. So okay, so right now you can see our server is running fine. Now if I come back, if I go back here in my Postman, and here I did a change. Okay, so let's come here, go back to the NFTs, and if I go to this get one, you can see I can simply type this one. I can simply replace all of this because I was also testing, and in that I'm going to type this, let's say what I have given, URL. I guess this is the what I have given. So currently I'm into the development environment. So the moment I will make this call, I'll send request, you can see our API is working fine. Right now I'm not authenticated, I have not logged into this application, that's why I'm getting this error, but our API is working fine. If I come here, if I go back to the code once again, and if I stop this from running, if I stop this running, and if I come to the Postman and if I make a request, I'll get this because this API is no longer running. So in this video, I'll show you that how you can deploy this API into the remote server so you can do all the testing, which I'm currently doing in my couple of projects. Okay, so in that context, this platform plays a huge role. Okay, railway, it's one of the best platform which I have found, which is really very easy to deploy your entire API, or whether it's a server ending or a front end, you can easily able to deploy in few clicks and you will have your entire API live. Okay, so currently I have deployed this, you can see that it's currently live, and here I have this one. So I'll click on this and you can see our API is absolutely working fine. So all I have to do is to retrieve the data. I will simply copy that and I'll come back to the Postman, and this is the place where I am. So I'll come here. So this is the endpoint for getting all the courses. So what I will do is I have already copied that URL. So let me show you once more time. So I'll simply come here. I'm going to replace that and I'm going to paste the one we have copied from there. Okay. So you can see this is the endpoint we have. In that we have all the courses. This is this 70 courses. So the moment I will hit the request, I'll still have the data. Okay, maybe the endpoint, okay, my bad. So I have to remove this one one exclamation mark, and not exclamation mark, slash, and I have to click on this send, and you can see the request went through, and here we have all the data we have in the database. So this one is a really great and powerful tool which you can utilize to deploy your API and let others know that you have built this API with all these cool features. Again, this platform has some limitations. So when you will create an account, they will give you 700 hours free, so you can deploy your code and you can test, and that's more than enough. Okay, so I have already deployed that. So let me show you how you can deploy that. I have already done a couple of things and I don't want to run out of my space. So what I will do, I'll come here, I'll go back to the product sections. Here we have that. Let's come back to the railway. So you can see I have already deployed a lot of APIs, a lot of application here. So you can deploy in two ways. You can deploy the server side rendering, or you can simply deploy the simple HTML or CSS project. Okay, so I show you that how you can deploy your API, that's a server side, or if you want to deploy the NFT marketplace we have built, that's also a server side rendering, or it can be a simple HTML which we have built. Okay, so for deploy that, all you have to do is to click on this add new, and first thing, make sure that you have to connect your GitHub account. So once you connect your GitHub account, it will ask you a couple of questions, configure that, and you will find all of these platforms. So I have already connected my GitHub account, so you can see I'm getting this get from repo. So all you have to do is to upload the entire code to the GitHub. Make sure to remove the node modules. Okay, make sure to remove the node modules, the .env files, your environment variables from the GitHub repo. Don't upload there because these are the private things. Okay, and you don't need to push node modules because this one is automatically going to initialize whatever you have in the package.json file repo, which I can find, and most of them are private because we are working on the team. So the one which I want to show you is this one. So this is the one which I showed you. I guess this is the one. Let me check. API course API 2. Okay, this one. I click on this, and all you have to do is to click on this deploy. So the moment you will click on the deploy, it will start deploying. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but let me show you. So what I will do, I'll come back to the dashboard, and this is the API which I am talking about. So let's come here, where it is, buddy. So this is the one, API 2, and once you click on this deploy, you will have something like this. So the moment you will click on this deploy, the entire deploying process will be started here, and you will see that it's building here, and you will see it's deploying packages and file. Once it gets started, you have to come back to the environment variables, and here you have to define all the environment variables you have in the application. So we have a lot of environment variables in our API. We have used MongoDB database, we have private key, so all of those environment variables you can define. So all you have to do is to click on this new environment variable, put the name, and here you have to provide the data. So once the entire deployment process get completed, it will say succeed. So once it gets succeed, you have to come here, and here you have to simply scroll down here, and here you have to say custom domain. So you can add your own domain if you have bought it from somewhere else, or you can buy from here, but just click on this custom domain. It will generate a domain like this from the railway, because you are using the free plan. And once the domain is get generated, you have to wait for at least 5 minutes, because when you open this instantly it will show you 404 error, but just wait for 5 minutes, because in my case after 5 minutes everything was working fine. So after 5 minutes it will be fine, and here you will get this cannot get, means your API is live, and now you can utilize this API in your application. So you can make calls, you can get the data, you can add into your applications, or if you want to test that, you can use this postman to make this request. So I believe that you guys have got your answers. Now you know that how you can deploy your APIs, how you can deploy your front end. That's very easy. First you have to deploy the entire project to the GitHub. Make sure to exclude all the node modules or the .env files and unnecessary file which you don't need to upload to the GitHub. And from there, all you have to do is come to the railway, connect your account, connect your GitHub repo, and pick the project which you want to make it live, use as a railway. Okay, in future if we have a tutorial on the boat which can look at the price of the Ethereum or any particular token, and it will take certain action based on that. So in that scenario, we're going to utilize this platform, because we're going to build the boat based on the Node.js, and we need to have a place on the server where this boat can continuously run. We can't run on our application all the time, so we'll put this on the cloud server on the railway, and it will do all the things for us. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you that you should get familiar with this railway if you are into the development field and if you want to do the testing.